Welcome to another episode of The Word Is Out. It's me, I'm back. It's your brother, your boy, Marcia Teller. This show is about young black entrepreneurs. Remember the last show, we was in North New Jersey at Center Stage, and we was talking to my boy Omar about, some of the artwork that he had in his barbershop. Now, I said on the second one, why don't we have it on the grandest stage in Harlem, New York? From North New Jersey to Harlem, New York, baby. We can't get no better than The Word Is Out, baby. You know what I mean? So we about to go over here and interview some of the young entrepreneurs, some of the artists, and we going to talk to them about their art. We making it big, baby. We make it boil in the pot. We laying it down like mayonnaise. Come on, don't touch that dial, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, at the closet, another happening spot. Get dope clothes over here. I'm about to go shopping and hit myself because I'm kind of fresh, fully clean. Cash cow all day long. Yeah, okay. Now, you can wear a vest as a t-shirt with some shorts on the beach.
Yeah, I'm wearing that tonight.
You wearing that tonight? Now, if you're a young black entrepreneur that you want to showcase your business, hit me up. We back with the sister here.
Hi, my name is Maeva Fouche.
Maeva Fouche. I'm going to ask you the same question I was asking before the camera came on. I guess he was slow about it. Where's your inspiration in doing your artists? Like this one right here, this beautiful one right here. I'm sorry, I didn't turn my back to it.
Okay. I was inspired by Picasso. This one here is called Tonton, and I studied a little bit of his cubism that he did with Brock in about 1910, 1912, and I decided to do this piece called Tonton.
So every painting here had its own origin, every story behind it, because like everybody said they got a story behind everything that they do.
Yes. I mean, well, these two pieces, like I said, Picasso, and I have another piece that was inspired by Basquiat, yes, which is this one over here called Monkey Mind.
Oh, okay. You can turn to it. Don't turn to it, brother. No, you can't turn to it. You're going to stay right here.
Okay, well, I'll explain it. The idea came from me wanting to come up with an idea, and I couldn't because my mind just wouldn't let me focus. You know, and I just felt like the mind is almost like a monkey. It laughs at you, doesn't let you, focus, and then eventually, when you do, something amazing comes from it, and that's where monkey mind came from, and that's where the idea came from, not letting you focus, not letting you come up with your creations, and that's why I decided to title it Monkey Mind.
Yeah, because a lot of people ask me, because, I do film myself, right? And they were like, oh, man, where you come up with these crazy ideas? And I'm like, well, to me, it's like normal. I feel like everybody should do it. So, I mean, I'm going to ask you the same question. How do sometimes you just sit there and it just hit you and it's like, I'm going to draw this?
Not all the time. Yeah, there are times when the image does come to mind and it's that easy. I'll put it on the canvas, I paint it, and it's fine, But then there are times where it may take a couple of weeks, and then I have to think of the colors first. And then once that happens, then I'm able to paint it. So it does take a while sometimes.
Man. How long you been doing it for?
For about 8 years. But I started my business a year ago. My background is actually in interior design. I did that for 2 years, and I decided I was bored. I needed to go for my passion in art, so I did this last year. Actually, I started.
Oh man, this definitely something hard to tackle because I couldn't draw that. I couldn't do that. I can't, especially like the monkey mind. And I know it's how much did your stuff go for?
Well, the monkey mind is about $1,500. The Tonton is $2,500. $2,500? Yep.
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to ask you, because I couldn't ask all the other artists, how come a lot of this art is so high priced?
Well, you don't want to underprice your work, because you do work so hard. I mean, there are times I'm painting for 10 hours. You put a lot of energy into your work, and you think it's worth it. So I price it according to, my experience and the time that I put into it.
So what's like the average time to finish this whole, like, one piece?
Well, it depends. I mean, I've done pieces that took 30 minutes, but then I've done pieces that took 2 months. It depends on how detailed it is and how big the canvas is.
Oh, okay. Man, did you ever do any live painting?
No, but that's next on the list to do, some live paintings.
Can you do me? I'll be in the next Tonton.
You'd be easy to do. You're easy to do.
I'll be easy to do. I got to end this whole interview by saying, what can you say to the young youth out there about who want to do the same thing exactly what you're doing?
You have to be fearless. You have to believe in yourself. You have to put that hat on that you are an artist, and you have to own up to it. Don't let anyone tell you anything differently. Whatever you feel is what you put on that canvas.
Words of wisdom, everybody, and that's a jewel right there. You know, I can't say it much better. You know, you get it better from the young lady right here. You know, thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
It's nice meeting you. Peace out, everybody. The word is out. You talking to the brother right here, young brother.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Mr. Adams here. We have some great art here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is great. From this picture right here, oh man, I'd love to know some of the stories behind some of this art right here. Especially this one right here is standing behind us. This young brother right here. It's called the I am N word. The N word. That's great. I mean, like, and it got a lot of N words on here besides the N word at the bottom.
I'm like, I guess because what I'm trying to say is that there's so many things that, so many words that we can call each other, you know, that begin with N, but the chosen word is the N word, you know. And see, I was blessed. Years ago, Bill Cosby, he put me through school. And one of the things he said to me, he says, as you push forward in life, pull from behind. Right. So this is my way of trying to say to the young people, you're headed in the wrong direction. There's no need of calling each other, you know, this and that. There's so many other positive words that we can use to call each other. Right. Why we got to call each other that? You know, so that's my way of trying to reach out to them and make a statement. Someone said to me years ago, Alonzo, if you were to leave here and your work was put in a time capsule, and that time capsule was open 50 to 100 years from now, would your work say anything about the era that you came through? And that made me start thinking. So I'm working on what's called a Code Blue series. Okay. You know, when my mother was in the hospital, there were three codes up on the wall: Code White, Code Red, Code Blue. Code White was basically just calling the nurse. Code Red was an emergency. Code Blue is that we're losing someone. Okay, someone's dying. So I'm working on a series called the Code Blue series because we're losing so many young people. Right. You know, I mean, it's almost like, you know, you get to the point where you're saying, like, you know, you want to give up on them. You know, the kids sagging their pants, the kids just killing each other, right, and whatnot. And we have so many young, beautiful young brothers and sisters out here, and if they just started caring, you know, and this is my way of trying to say to them, I mean, there's so many people that defend this word. And I'm like, why do you want to defend the worst word, the most derogatory word that was ever given to us, right, and then try to turn it into a term of endearment? Right, right. It's not a term of endearment. I mean, some of the last thing that some of our ancestors heard before the noose was pulled around their neck, or before they felt the last lash of a whip, right, or before they were pulled apart by two horses, was die nigger. And we want to turn it into a term of endearment? I mean, think about the food that they gave us back then. They gave us the worst food, and we turned it into, you know, what was, you know, appetizing, chitlins and hog maws and this and that. And that's the same stuff that's still killing us today. All the stuff that we're putting in our body. We basically taken the whip from the master. He didn't have to whip us anymore. Here, we'll give the whip to you. You whip yourselves. They gave us that word. Right. We took that word from it and tried to turn it into a term of endearment. Right. To call ourselves taking the power out of it. It never took the power out of it. I mean, if you grew up I remember being in the South, going into, you know, seeing bathrooms that said white only, black only. I saw, you know, colored. I remember watching someone a little boy calling my grandfather the N-word. Right, right. You know, and so you want me to all of a sudden take that and turn it into a term of endearment? It's not. So this is basically my statement that, you know, it's something that we need to lose. You know, this young brother is like, look, I mean, he's wearing, you know, the Dr. Dre Geets. He's wearing sweatpants. He's wearing Timberlands, but he's got books in his hands. Right. And he's got knowledge in his head, you know, and he's basically saying, look, I'm a whole lot of things, but I'm not the N-word. I'm not the N-word.
Right, right. I mean, it just had me gravitated to this because I was that kid one time. I used to have the sweatpants, the Timberlands on, hoodie, and I used to have the earphones on. But I had the bald head looking like Tupac, but you know, at the same time, that's why my wife thought I was cute. You know, but yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Me and my friends to call each other the N-word all the time. Used to terms of endearment. And then yeah, exactly, you know. And we got it from like hearing the older people doing it though.
Right. But somewhere it's got to end. The cycle's got to end somewhere.
Right.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I've been. I mean, you know, I have so many great collectors, celebrity collectors, athletes, this and that. I mean, and you know, I've heard some of them use it. And when you really break it down, none of us are proud of it, but we've been conditioned to use it. You know, somewhere along the way, you got to recondition yourself. I know there's people out there who defend. Why would you want to defend the word? You know, yeah. You heard people, the older people say it. Okay, that didn't make it right. You know, that's like if you see an older person that maybe abuses their kids or abuses their wife. It doesn't make it right, so it doesn't make it something that you want to continue to do.
Right.
You know, the word is the same way. It was a word that yeah, you know, 60s, 70s, we started doing it, you know, as opposed to, yeah, brother, you know, he starts saying, yeah, that's my, you know, and my whole thing is there's so many other things that we can call each other. Like, if you want to sit up here and say to somebody, like, yo, that's, which one sounds better? Yo, that's my brother, or that's my, you know what I'm saying? Or, like, you can only dress things up but so well, you know. And
is the word? Oh, I'm sorry. Is the word Negro? Is it a lighter term for the N word?
See, okay, I'm not a historian, so I remember Negroid. Negro came from Negroid,
right.
and supposedly from the river Niger. I don't actually know the history, right? But you know, I'd rather just be called black. I'm a black man. I'm a brother. I'm, you know what I'm saying? A Negro, you know, this and that. I don't, you know, I don't sit up here and say, okay, that's, but if you're going to call me anything, just don't call me that. Don't call me, you know, I'll just say, don't call me a nigger. I'm not a nigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst word you can call me. You know, there's nothing good out of it. It was fostered out of hatred. And there's no way that you can clean it up, and polish it up, and serve it to me and make it taste good. Right. It's impossible.
I'm saying, where I come from in North New Jersey, every time I turn the television on, somebody getting killed every day.
Plainfield's on. You know, I love Plainfield, but it's like the OK Corral sometimes. You know, kids getting killed for the stupid. I mean, just taking lives for no reason. Right. For no reason. I'm like, you know, you're just killing each other for no reasons.
Somebody got killed for some Jordans.
Yeah.
Somebody got killed in Newark on Park Avenue. 5 people got killed. I don't even know. I know it was a senseless killing. But every time you turn the TV on, and some people told me, like, oh, I don't even want to watch the news because it's just nothing but depressing.
Let me ask you a question. I went to see 12 Years a Slave, right?
Yeah, great movie.
And that movie was so gripping. I walked out just kind of like, there's a scene where a slave has to whip another slave.
Right, yeah.
And whips the slave literally to the white meat. Meat is just hanging off, right? Mm-hmm. Think about it. The slave was given the whip by the master. Right. The same thing with the N-word. They gave us that whip, and we're still whipping each other to this day with it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to call us that anymore. We're calling each other that. The Klan doesn't have to do anything anymore. We're killing each other off. Right. Our job is done. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Their job is done. You know, they don't have to call us that anymore. Right. We're calling each other that.
Yeah, because I know in America now, we number 3 in the population? We number 3 in the population. First it was whites and blacks. Now it's white, Hispanics, and blacks now. You know, we probably be number 4 about 2015.
Well, the nation is slowly turning brown, though. Right. You know, I don't have problem with Right. Funny statement. Some of my best friends are white. I don't have a problem with white and black. Right. I have a problem with black and black using the word. Yeah. It's not a term of endearment. Right. I don't give a damn how many times you try to defend it. Mm-hmm. What I mean, there's rappers out here who I love. I mean, I love Jay-Z. I love his music and whatnot, but I don't love the fact that he defends the word. Why do you want to defend it? Why? Yeah, we all came from the streets. Right. You know, some of us came from the gutter. Right? That doesn't mean you still have to take that mentality and keep growing it and fostering it.
Well, let me ask you a question. You talking about hip hop music? I mean, oh, I'm sorry. Right. I'm sorry, my cameraman. You know, he about to beat me like 12 Years a Slave in a minute. I love hip hop music too. That's all that I used to listen to when back in the '90s. And, yeah, I listen to it too. I still listen to the stuff from the '90s though more than I do now. Yeah. But nowadays, man, the music don't have a message in it. I mean, like,
You talking about? I'm going back to the '80s when when Grandmaster Flash and them had the message out.
Melly Mel.
Yeah, you don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I mean, they were saying something, and don't get me wrong, Tupac was saying something. I love Pac, I love Biggie, I love Jay, I love all of those cats, right? Some of these young rap, like I find myself saying to my kids now, what my uncles and stuff like that. Well, how do you listen to that music? You know, and I you know, Waka Flocka and this and that. I'm like, huh? What are they saying? You know, and they're not saying anything. I mean, Jay, I listen to Jay. I love him. Love his music. Love it. You know, I don't agree with we like he and Oprah agreed to disagree as far as the N-word.
Right.
I'm the same way with him. I'm with her. I don't agree. I don't like the word. I don't like to use it. I don't understand why you like to use it. I don't understand why you want to defend it. We had this brother, Matt Barnes, who got in trouble because when he did an interview, he said something about he was tired of fighting for these on his team, and he keeps getting fined for it.
Matt Barnes from the Lakers, right? Oh, he on the Clippers. Yeah, the Clippers. Yeah.
And then there was a big debate. Isaiah Thomas and some of the older brothers chimed in, and Isaiah Thomas, he killed the interview. I mean, he said, "Look, don't call me it. I don't understand why you defend it. This and that." And I was like, "Wow, he is speaking volumes right now."
But actually though, that's how normally they talk, because he did it on Twitter. Because he normally they walk around, yeah, what's up, and just when he went on Twitter, he would just tell what was on his mind, because that's normally how I talk. And he figured like the NBA camera's not in his face, so I'm gonna talk the way I normally talk, and I'm gonna put it on Twitter. But he not knowing that it blew up, and everybody's on his case about it.
But see, the sad part about that whole thing is like, okay, it should be basically it's like they're saying it should be okay as long as it's in our own environment, you know, and you can't say that because you're not one, and you can't. We're not that either. Okay, so why are we perpetuating that? Why are we making it so that look, you can't call us that, but we can call each other that. Right. Okay, you can't kill us. We can only kill each other. You know what I'm saying? You know,
it's the same.
The master did his job well. He handed us the whip, and we're whipping ourselves to death with.
It's the same when the sisters calling each other the B word.
Exactly. It really is. It really is. I mean, and that's another subject I want to touch on. But see, I have two boys that I'm raising. Right. That I'm afraid every time they go out the house because of the world we're living in, and I'm addressing them, you know, young black men growing up, right. Because it's cold blue. It really is cold blue.
Oh, man. It's great talking to you, man. Oh, bro. Oh, man, you gave a lot of knowledge to me, bro. You schooling the young brother.
They call me a visual griot.
A visual griot? Man, I'd like to talk to you some other time, man. You know,
switch information and
man, I was wondering I'd get some free art some today. We'll be right back.
Congressman Donald M. Payne, Jr., who has just received the very first Carl L. Williamson Humanitarian Award. How does that feel? Dominic Tamman, the CEO of Impact Corporation. Mine, Miss Susu Stewart of Susu Productions, interviewing Mayor Warren of Orange, New Jersey, with Jason Green. And this is great because I first met Mr. Green.
We here with the man of the hour right here, my man Curtis Grayson. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Man, look, I know we was talking about your bow ties. His great jacket, man, this Obama cousin right here. Also, he's real hot with the art, man. He always was telling me about the art, but now I'm seeing it for myself, and I can see how great he is, man. I know I can't afford it, But hey, man, you know, man, you got some great people coming in here because I had to stand in line just to get an interview, man. What's going on, bro?
No, you never can price yourself out the game as far as we have works from original work. We also have as far as limited editions, prints, framed and unframed. So you never know if you can price yourself out. There's always opportunities as far as of work. We also have clothing lines, also.
Because I was talking to some of the artists here, and the majority of all the artists have a story behind each art that they have on their wall. A particular for like this art I'm painting right here. Do you have like a particular story that is behind this?
Yes, that's this is from Alvin Ailey. This is from Alvin Ailey, and this is a depiction from his Revelations series. It's a great inspiration from their work. I use as far as a lot of when I see a lot of the dances. It gives me a lot of inspiration when I create the work. So this is all praise high from the Alvin Ailey Revelations. You have like other images here. This is a etching. This is a lithograph, hand pulled lithography. This is an image from Bosquet. John Michel Bosquet, famous Haitian American artist from in the past. Just other images here. Another one from Alvin Ailey. This is from Cry. This is titled Hallelujah. So I mean, I paint from pretty much from life. Right. You know, things that I see inspire me. I try to show that and bring that to attention.
Okay. So when did you start painting? When did you start getting this inspiration as a kid? Like, I'm about to go hard with this. When you start drawing your first cat or something. What's going on, man?
Probably when I picked up that first crayon when I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. I mean, always had an interest in wanting to paint, wanting to draw, and just always just been expressive and very creative as far as and I had a good strong family around me that supported me and helped nurture what I was trying to do.
Right. Another question I was just asking some of the artists here, and I was just talking to the young brother over here, especially you teaching in school. What can you say to some of the young youth out there? There's artists, but they picking up the gun. You know what I mean? They come Bloods and Crips. They're selling drugs. I mean, what can you do for them to put that aside and get into art like this?
Mainly, as far as they have to understand, as far as it's about your image. It's about what you're trying to uphold. As far as they have to find ways to maximize their time, to find ways to build their time. When I step in my studio and I look at all the work that I created, I was always taught by my father to always remind me to never waste time. So when I look at my work and each painting that I look at, I know that's time being put into each one. So that means I'm not wasting time. I'm utilizing my time positively in a creative form. And as far as for young brothers, they just need to find as far as their passion. Everyone has been born and blessed with a gift. Right, exactly. So they need to find what that gift is and be able to nurture it and try to grow. You can utilize, if it's dealing with art, it can be profitable. Right. It can make money. You can make money off your talents and gift, but you need to first start off by finding what's your passion.
That's words of wisdom right there. That's words of wisdom. But you being kind of modest, brother, because I know you had some of this art up in some movies, man. Tell us the movies that you had it up in, man. Come on, man. Tell them, man. Don't be modest, man.
Well, I mean, my first piece I had was in the movie Disappearing Acts. It was a HBO piece with Terry McMillan and Sanaa Lathan and Wesley Snipes. As far as that was on HBO. The newest pieces that I had 7 pieces. I was blessed by having work that was in the movie The Best Man Holiday, directed by Malcolm D. Lee. And that piece I had at least 7 pieces, and this was one of the pieces here, this piece here. I also had several other pieces that's actually over in this corner area over here. It was just a blessing, just a favor of God, just to have the work in the movies. And now we're trying to set up some things where we can also either speak about the movie, talk about as far as the impact of black art or images in movies, itself. That movie served as a purpose, almost like on the same level, like with the Cosby Show, when you've seen that artwork throughout the movies, and it just made people want to see the positive, good images of themselves, along with a strong cast and strong substance that dealt with as far as real life issues that was taking place. So that was one of the top things for us.
Sorry about that. Do you have any up and coming movies, projects, anything coming in the works?
Well, currently right now, what's in the works right now is I'm getting ready to have my curatorial debut, as far as one of our images right here, which is as far as one of my pieces, one of my collectors by the name of Dr. Jordan, and he's getting ready to release his entire collection for over 45 years of his artwork. And so right now it's a place that we're to be determined, but it's going to be as far as African American art and also his African sculptures and artifacts. So that's coming very soon.
I can keep this right here?
Yes, you can.
Oh, we all just come in, and everybody can keep their own card from my brother, Mr. Grayson here, but you won't have to pay for the art because unfortunately I can't get no free art. So that means you can't get no free art. So I mean, like, well, how much your art going for right now?
We have as far as smaller originals of run from between like 300 to 500 as far as original prints or original drawings. Then we also have as far as from like my medium-sized pieces here, which are frame originals, which are 5. And I mean, we have different price points. I mean, the price can keep going up as far as depending on the type of work or the type of size. But I also have as far as prints, my lowest amount print is $30. So I have an unframed print here. It's $35.
That's something I can mess with.
I see. I can sign it to you, and we can have that wrapped up for you today.
Can we get something like this? Obama, yes, we can. Remember, kids, Obama said yes, we can.
I can sign that on your print if you like.
Man, I love talking to you, man. My cameraman told me to roll it up. Right. You know what I mean? I think he's gonna kill me when we get outside. Man, you gotta save me, brother. Okay, until then, man. Thank you for checking out for us when the word is out. We's doing it hot, big time for all us black artists out there, man. It's about us, man. You can do it 24/7. You know what I mean? Keep it on. Well, sing.
Harlem Fine Arts Show. It was a pleasure at the Harlem Fine Arts Show, one of the largest African American art shows in the country, on the East Coast, and actually the whole country. Thank you.
So this is the biggest art show in the whole country? No, on the East Coast.
Yes.
Wow. Right now we got my brother here, DION CLARKE. We don't want him calling my other name, so you know.
They used to call me Demo in the neighborhood way back, but my name is DION, and I'm proud to be on your show. This is our 5th anniversary of the Harlem Fine Arts Show, and we're growing and we're getting better. Opening night was great for us. We had over 2,500 people in the building just to salute the Harlem School of the Arts because it was a benefit, and we really were able to give some great things back to the kids because most of the proceeds went directly to our kids, right. And that's so important because what we give them is cultural nutrition, right, on an ongoing basis. Friday we had Youth Empowerment Day, and Youth Empowerment Day consisted of all the public, private, and charter schools sent their kids here for free from 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. We got the opportunity for them to tour and to meet the different artists, to greet them, to get an understanding of how they can be successful on an ongoing basis. And then after that, they went into the gymnasium and they met the Fortune 500 companies. So they got an opportunity to look and see where they can be successful in the game of life. They talked about to PepsiCo, about do you just do Pepsis? No, we have a marketing division, we have an engineering, we have a research and development, and it really gave them a good understanding, and hopefully a light went off into how they can become more responsible and better citizens as they grow up in the game of life again.
Right. You said this is the 5th anniversary, right?
It's 5th anniversary.
Oh yeah, so it was like 5 years.
5 years. 5 years. We've been in the New York area. We started out with about 500 people coming to a medium to small art show that was on the 143rd Street Armory. The next year we moved over to Riverside, and now we're at 15,000 people that come through our doors over a 3-day period of time. Right. This is the first year that we've had a relationship with the NFL, because the NFL is our big sponsor, because we moved the show up a little bit because Super Bowl time, right, Harlem Fine Arts Show time, a great time for networking, for excitement, and really, again, to see some fantastic artists, because it's not about the Harlem Fine Arts Show, it's about the artists, because this is about empowering them, making sure that they can sell their works at a good cost base, and making sure that they not only sell their works, but they develop a relationship with the consumers. So this is what this piece was about, and this is what it was meant to be, and this and this and this and this. So it's a long tangled web, but a good web, because it's strong, it's a great foundation, and it really is supportive of not only the Harlem community, but the New York community, but the New York regional community, and mostly around the United States, because it's so important for us to get this cultural nutrition, not only to multicultural kids, but to multicultural children and multicultural adults throughout the United States.
Right. Yeah, like I was just talking to the young lady, Keisha, a few minutes ago, and she said it's like goes around for the whole year. It goes around from New York. She said it's going to Atlanta, next week or something like that?
No, we have a tour. It's a 4-city tour, and we're in New York this week, and this is just to kick off with Black History Month and, of course, Super Bowl. Then in about 3 months, we're in Atlanta, and we join the Atlanta Black Arts Festival, and that's going to be tremendous for us because we're able to spread out and work with another arts company that's been around for 25 years and really kind of take it to another level. Then we go to Martha's Vineyard in August, in prime time Martha's Vineyard time, when the president is there, when all the movers and shakers kind of go to the island and they can get a chance to really be benefactors of this great art that we're selling. And then we go to Chicago, and that's in October, and that's the largest African Diasporic art show that's going to take place in the Midwest, and it's just going to be fiendish. It's going to be great, and we're going to be so happy to be there.
Is it like a schedule, like a main schedule for the whole year, or each year is like a different schedule? Like
each year is a different year. Each year is, we call it, a different flavor, and the flavor is getting better and better because we're in 4 cities this year, we're in 7 cities the year after that, and we're 3 years ahead of time. We're looking at 10 in 2018. And then last but not least, we're getting ready to go to Europe. We're going to Europe to be able to be in Paris, to be in London, and in some of the great cities, to really just kind of make this stuff an international perspective instead of just being a United States-based type of opportunity.
So you're bringing a lot of African art to Europe.
Yeah, and African American art and Caribbean art and all of the art that falls under the African diaspora, because we bring that Latino perspective. We have a young lady just around the corner, Elizabeth Bias, from Puerto Rico and from Miami. We have a little bit of taste from everything because that's all built because we all came over in that one boat and they just made a few stops and dropped it off. Okay, so yes, we're looking forward to it, and we feel quite proud to be able to represent the African diaspora in a very positive type of manner.
A quick question: before you go to Europe, you think you can make a stop in New Jersey?
Hey, I want to come and pick you up, and few other people to come up to really just do something great, and it's my pleasure to be on your show and